the only good snake is a live snake, because a dead snake can't help you. It's worthless. So I've had some people go, well, you can eat them, you can use them as a belt. Well, the food runs out and the belt wears out. A live snake can go on forever and make babies, each generation from us to live that life. So this is what I'm on about. Identification. I do big time identification talks. Why? I want people to learn how to identify the animal, not using this crazy stuff we're told. I mean, we grow up here, I heard it all from my grandpa, my dad, etc. So we know there's only 10 rattlesnakes in the state of Texas, species and subspecies. Copperheads, we only have 3, 1 cottonmouth, western cottonmouth, 1 coral snake called the Texas coral snake. I could argue that we kind of have 2, maybe a subspecies of the coral snake, but we won't get into that. That gives us 15 species in this whole giant state. Not all. 15 species living in any one place. The most you're going to find in one area is going to be about 7. So we don't even, you take this state, we have 120 species altogether, and the most you can have is 7. And venomous snakes in one area. That's not many compared to the cars and the humans, the dangerous things. So I tell people, learn how to ID snakes. Forget the rhymes. Red and yellow kill a fellow, red and black friend of Jack. I mean, when I was growing up, it was, don't jump back. You know, it's changed over the years. But the truth of the matter is, that's not how we identify things. Think about all the fish you know about, the birds you can identify. You don't use 2 different birds in some funny color pattern. That doesn't even work. You know, the heads on most snakes here in Texas, not on the East Coast, start off black, yellow, white. The coral snake has wide black bands. The coral snake has a rounded head. The milk snake has a pointed head. The milk snake has little thin black bands. I could go on and on. I'm just identifying 2 snakes. The rhyme doesn't even cover one part of the identification. Red touch yellow. That's crazy. Yes?
On your milk snake there, is, well, how was on the coral snake, the sections that are red, they're kind of speckled with black. Is the milk snake, it's hard to see in the photo, is the milk snake in the red sections, are they solid red? Or
Yeah, they're solid red. Almost, sometimes they'll be dull red. They're kind of melanistic, sometimes real dark fades. Kind of like us, you know, your skin's lighter than mine or darker than mine. And same thing with the snake, so that red will sometimes be a little bit darker, but it's always a solid red. And on the coral snake, you also have that mottling, that black in there. But a caveat here is the coral snake is, it's not common, but it happens more regularly than any other snake naturally. Albino coral snakes in the wild. And if you don't know the shape of that head right there, you think you're looking at a pet from Petco that got this. And its venom's just as powerful as the normal phase. It's knowing how to identify the particular animal. Cottonmouths get a huge rap for, okay, it's all a cottonmouth. It musk, it stinks, it's got a triangular head. Learn how to identify. They have a flat head on top, drops off in front of the nose to a 90-degree angle. Only snake in Texas that does that. How's that for you? That's easy to identify. Learn how to identify the features of each animal. So, if you see a snake, leave it alone. Take 3 giant steps. 1, 2, 3. Kneel down with your camera, click. Check it later, walk away, leave it alone. That's simple. That's all you got to do. This is a great way to teach people about wildlife. I've walked up on bears, I've walked up on many animals, and I back away from them. Even, not every time, but usually with feral hogs, same thing. They relax and go, I'm not going to get killed. They think we're going to kill them anyway. That's what I believe animals think. We're pretty big. And you know, the black bear that surprised me when I was going after a coach whip, literally, I kind of went this way and I looked back to see what the bear was doing. It was running down when I'm all forward. It was so scared of me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. When it stood up, it was taller than me. But it was scared of me. So just do that with wildlife. Back away, leave them alone. If you don't want them around your house, cedar products work better than anything. Cedar moss, cedar oil, cedar chips, little granules. Put that in your rock bed. Now, if you want to keep snakes around your house, you want them to show up around your house. You want to find them and identify them. My table's the one in the farthest back corner. come see me and let's talk one-on-one, because everybody's situation's a little bit different. I'll tell you exactly how to get snakes to come to your house. You'll love it. It's fun. Envenomation. This isn't going to be a real pretty sight, but it's not real gross, but it is reality. So we're going to see a photo of a snake bite right here. You don't have to look at it very long. It's some real bruising. This was done by a northern, no more basket photos, northern Pacific rattlesnake. They do not live here in Texas, Pacific. They live on the West Coast. They have a nasty venom, but you can see what it did to Mel, what it did to his hand. So when you get bit by a snake, stay calm. But you know what you really do first? 1, 2, 3. Back away from it. It just bit you. Don't get bit again. Leave it alone. Remove constricting items. You have a watch on, take it off. Have a ring on. I normally have one, but I've lost my second wedding band in 2 years. Been married 18 years. That's not good. My wife's not letting me buy a third band right now, so I don't know what I'm going to do. So anyway, I normally show you. Do not take anything by mouth. What do I mean by that? Snake bites are painful. Women that have had natural childbirth would say they'd rather have 10 babies and go through a snake bite again. Ungodly painful. So don't take anything for the pain. They're going to give you opioids when you get to the hospital. So they'll give you some pretty strong medicines that'll help you with the pain. So don't drink any water, no soda. Unfortunately, men, us, have a tendency to have a few beers and get bit. We make up the statistics. Guys, boys, and men, boys aren't good. Their dads aren't. Boys get bit on the hands, men get bit on the hands and the face. Absolutely. What were they doing? I'm going to show you these fangs. Let me pass these around real quick. You can see what rattlesnake fangs look like. This is a little bug box, but I took advantage of the bug box and put some rattlesnake fangs in it. You can actually see these fangs, but imagine them moving their own cartilage and ligaments, and they can move in or out. I love the doctors. Oh, it was a big snake because the fang marks were a full inch apart. I mean, that was a monster snake. You realize they can move their fangs wide. They can move them in and make it look like it's a tiny snake. They're flexible. Know that. So these people that go, that fang comes out right in the lip. Yes, not a good place to be bit in the face. So these are the things never do. No tourniquet, no ice, no incision or suction, no snake bite kit. Those things you buy at Cabela's or, you know what I mean, the little yellow thing with the little suction. That's like grandpa's kind of way of treating it. Electric shock. Has anybody ever heard of that? There are some countries that still, they think you can get 120 volts, put each line over the venom spikes. You know, you can see what the fang marks look like. Hold one there, hold it to the counter, and you know, you're going to get the heck shocked out of you. You will not neutralize it. Better than venom. But have a heck of a shock and probably do some damage to your skin right there. Alcohol, caffeine. I already had my cup of coffee this morning. How about you? Caffeine's not good. Any kind of anti-inflammatory, like if you're dealing with some carpal tunnel or some pulled muscle and you might be on some type of steroid, quit taking it if the doctors don't tell you to do that. This is the anti-venom we have today. That's it. It's the only one available here in Texas, called ProFab. It's made with the Western diamondback rattlesnake, the Eastern diamondback rattlesnake, the Mojave rattlesnake, all represented here at this talk, or at this convention, and then the cottonmouth. No copperhead or coral snake in this venom, but it is used for copperhead bites, never the coral snake bite. Completely different animal. This is your snake bite kit today. That's not an old phone, but some people still have it. Yes, your transportation, either a radio or a phone. 911, if you were bit, let's say I reached over here and I got tagged by a Western diamondback rattlesnake. That hurts. I put my hand up in the air like I'm trying to get a teacher's attention. I'd hold it. I'd have my buddy here call 911, and I'd say, I need to get to Benton Hospital in the medical center, bypassing all the hospitals around here. There is one guy in southeast Texas that was a snake bite expert. One. Dr. Spencer Green. He works out at Texas Children's Medical Center and Benton. So we have two hospitals a snake expert works out. He's treated over 600 snake bites, so he knows what he's doing. So don't go to any one of these. Now benefit of snake. This is what the talk's really about. You just heard what I always talk about. So this is the new talk just for this event this weekend. So snakes, they're great animals. Insects and rodents, they eat insects. They like them. They eat rodents. Insects bite us and put us in the hospital. There will be more people die from wasp stings and caterpillars and so forth this year than snake bites in the state of Texas. It's just statistics. And then you look at Lyme disease. No, they don't give you Lyme disease. They eat the critters that have the tick that gives the Lyme disease to humans. So you take one canebrake rattlesnake. It can eat between 2,500 and 5,000 ticks in 1 year, never transferring Lyme disease to another animal or to a human, even if they envenomate that human. That human will not get that. And the snake's getting a little bit more calcium, from that arachnid. It's kind of, helping its own protein there. Get some good protein from the mouse. It's kind of a win-win deal for the snake. And then fighting cancer. Is that amazing? There's going to be a talk later today. You don't want to miss it. Elva Sanchez. She's a top toxicologist in this state. And I can tell you right now, they are using snake venom to fight cancer cells, and they destroy these cells. It's cancer masses, prevents them from metastasizing. Crazy stuff. Now this is just to prove that what I said, I'm not making God. This is just information that I took off of the internet that is known to us herpers. We call ourselves that, herpers, herpetologists. Snakes can eat mammals, any animal with a disease. Take bats, for example, rabies. We have a coach whip that loves bats. Bats carry rabies. Snake can't get the rabies. The bat can bite the snake. The snake's fine. The snake eats the bat. The bat does not carry the rabies to another bat. It actually stops the process of spreading the rabies. Pretty amazing. And then you look at all the parasites and just look at these things. Snakes stop it. It ends with the animal. Just an amazing animal. How about those pesky? Everybody know what a locust is? A cicada? They make those noises. They come out of the ground after 13 years and they crawl up on your trees, the exoskeleton, and then they get to start making all the noise. Copperhead eat them like they're candy. They get rid of that noise for you. Now you know why you have copperheads in your backyard. They're not after you or your children. They're after your cicadas. So when there's a big growth of cicadas, because that happens periodically, you'll have tons of them everywhere. Copperheads are everywhere in your kingdom. They love it. It'd be like if there was a licorice bowl over here with black jelly beans in it. I would have already eaten two. I could not stop myself in this talk. I would have had to grab some. That's the copperhead. The rat snake. Love these animals. People call them chicken snake. Climb whatever they want. Anything. They can climb these walls here. No joke. Go along the edge. They go into our attics. What would be in our attics that they would want to eat? Mice and rats. I always tell families, if you do not see any mice or rats around your place, you have a couple of these. If you do see mice and rats around your place, you need a couple of these. The cats are a whole different story. But the snakes, think about this. A hole this big. A cat can't go in there. Hawk, etc. What animal? We all know. The snake is the only one that can go into that. Actually, what a snake can do is follow an old trail. That's how they go into houses. They're following the rodent trail. Their tongue is picking up the scent, and they don't even know they're inside a house. All they know is there's a mouse that they're following, and they're going to eat it to death. So one large 5 foot to 6 foot, 7 foot, that's the longest rat snake I've ever seen. They can eat well over 200 mice in a year, 50 large rats, squirrels that get in your attic and eat up your electrical stuff for your air conditioning and heating units. These snakes stop them. Many times you don't even know it. You don't hear them. They're quiet. They only eat once a week, go to the bathroom every other week. Pretty cool animals. Now, if you like snakes, but you don't like other snakes, now what does that mean? Let's say you like speckled king snake. I love them. respect the king snakes. They're cool. They are the bad boys of southeast Texas. There is no snake that can beat them in a fight. Cottonmouths that are big snake eaters are not going to beat this snake in a fight. It's not going to happen. They will kill it and eat it. They're snake eaters. This one here is eating a young copperhead and somebody yellow tipped tail. And just, there's no problem. The copperhead dumps all its venom into this snake here. The snake's like, that's your best shot? That's all you got, some venom? Well, watch me restrict your little tail here and eat you. Yes, great eater. I don't like to see a snake die, but if it's natural, I see a hawk lifting one off the ground. Don't like it, but I'm okay with it. It's when the crazy people go after them with their guns and shotguns and shovels and hoes and we don't want to go there. So, look at these little snakes you see in your yard. I love it when people say, it's a baby snake. Well, when they're this big, they're an old snake. If they're this big, they're really old. These Texas browns and rough earths, this is the, well, it says it. This is the rough earths, this is Texas brown. These animals, they eat slugs. Did you know slugs eat your plants? They do. They eat termites. Termites eat your building, and especially your home, if it happens to have wood studs inside the walls there. These are killer animals for protecting your home. If you see a whole bunch of them in your flower beds, you might need a termite protection. So out of the 4 types of venomous snakes, coral snake being the one left out, those pit vipers eat rodents in the water. All of them do. They eat a variety of things. Rattlesnakes especially are rodent eaters, but not all of them. Some are lizard eaters, etc. Perception of snakes. What do you think about them? What's in your mind? What's between the ears? Perception of snakes. This is me. No, that's me. And I'm holding 3 hognose snakes, eastern hognoses. I go to a regular in the family that I've been helping them for years. They live right on the bayou, the memorial area of Houston. And she goes, there's a giant snake on my porch and it won't leave. Right? Out of my car, I go over there. Oh my God, it's a beautiful female eastern hognose. I pick it up, and this is too cool. Out of my peripheral vision, not where your shoe is. Holy cow, I go over there, I pick up another eastern hognose. About where your shoe is, there's another eastern hognose. So I'm holding all 3. I'm like, man, they gotta be everywhere. Well, there's 2 males chasing this one female. So I'm literally holding these snakes. The lady standing back, she has a video phobia. She is scared of snakes. So I'm holding the snake, I'm like, here, take my cell phone, take a photo of me. And here's my look. I'm looking at her. Get this. How many of you photograph snakes? Okay. What are you always trying to do? Get the photo with the tongue out, right? If you look closely at this photo, one tongue is touching my cheek, that tongue is out, that tongue is out. She got all 3 snakes with the tongue out. She hates snakes and she did it with a cell phone. Yeah, I couldn't believe the picture when I went home and did that. But how did I know these snakes weren't going to bite me? They were just in the wild right before this photo was taken. They're eastern hognose. I'm not a toad or a frog. They don't bite me. I'm not food for them. It's a very docile snake. Am I telling the kids in this room to pick this up? No. I've been identifying snakes since I was 5 years old. Hint to parents that have kids that want to ID snakes. My dad bought field guides and cut the photos out and put them on flashcards. What is that? He gave me a split second to identify it. My dad's not a snake person. He didn't want me to get that. Perception. See the little tiny cottonmouth? Same cottonmouth. Perception. Just like the fish photo. Look at my giant bass that's 6 inches long. These emails you receive of the 90-pound rattlesnakes, for example. Of the eastern rattlesnake on the hook, and they're holding it loosely like this. You ever held 90 pounds out? It's all perception. They're actually putting the field of view, the photograph is actually closer to the snake, farther from the subject, making it much larger. If you get a chance to come to my table when I have Hurricane Joe out, he is an over 13-foot albino Burmese python, weighs 55 pounds. You can see the weight of a real snake. Or he held it for about 30 minutes yesterday, and he's like, I got to put this up.
My shoulder still hurt.
Shoulder still hurts.
I got the best strap workout ever.
And you could not do, it's, people like to trick you. Don't let them be smarter than they are. Look at this triangular head. Speaking of Lord Martin, look at this triangular head right here. There are rattlesnakes that do not have that triangular overhead. Don't let these myths kill you. Be right. Learn the individual animals. Look at this. Snakes get diseases just like we do. Snakes get upper respiratory infection, turn into pneumonia. Sometimes we save them, sometimes we can't. They get fungus on their scales just like we get toenail fungus. This snake here, patches, I miss her tremendously. Raised her from a little baby, wonderful animal. My son's doing a snake birthday party. He comes home, there's a little bump on patches. It's probably nothing. I feel it. It's real hard. Ooh, I don't like that. Take her to the vet. They do a biopsy. He comes back. I forget which cancer it was, but he goes, it's not good plan. There's nothing we can do to treat it. And she lived 6 months after that. And I had her put down. She was in a godly time. She couldn't touch anywhere around it. She just cleansed her whole body and showed it was hard. And it's hard to put a snake down when you have it from a baby. This was a sweet animal that taught tons of people that these are nice snakes. But they get diseases just like we do. See this cute boy? This is sad. He didn't grow up. This is the last picture that's known of this boy. He died because there was a snake in a tree and the people called the police. And I'm all for the police, believe me, I'm glad they're here. And the police see the snake, they shot at it. Does anybody here shoot? Anybody shoot guns? Okay, what happens if I shoot a gun? You shoot a bullet up this way. Does the bullet come down? That's what happened. And the policeman didn't do it purposely. I followed the story. He resigned. That just bothered the man tremendously, as you can imagine. This was an accident, but it was irrational thinking. Snake, I got to kill it. It was a rat snake trying to get to a bird's nest. Yes. And the boy died because of that. So you have to really think about these things. These are not things that you want to hear, but they're reality. So forget the question. I'm going to let you ask questions. We're going to meet some snakes. No questions to me today. Which snake would you say is the most aggressive, or what people say is the most aggressive? Ground snake in Australia. Around here. Very good answer. This guy's got me all over the world now. But right here in Conroe, what snake would be the aggressive one? The one that chased you. Which one? Rattlesnake? The rattlesnake here, I don't know if it'll chase you. Which one? Cottonmouth. Cottonmouth. Yeah, that's what I'll say too. Yes, actually I have hunters and I have fishermen and fisherwomen that literally tell me cottonmouths chase them. They have literally chased them hundreds of yards. So I'm going to show you something here. This is not a pet snake. This is not a snake that I'm recommending you play with. I'm opening it away from my hands. I'm standing away from here. I want to show you something. I have tongs, 36 inches long. I have a hook. This is not really a hook. It's called a stump ripper. It's for lifting things. Made out of titanium. Really strong. Look how long that is. What's that, about 4 feet? I have 2 of my favorites. These are homemade. This is just a little light hook. Love it. This is a little bit bigger of a hook. Highly aggressive cottonmouth. I'm going to use this hook. That dangerous animal that's going to attack me and kill me and come after your feet right over there. So we're going to see what happens here. I've now touched him. His tongue's going out. He's moving. There he is on the hook. He's looking at you. I think he's going to come after you and your grandchildren. I know they're not here yet, but put him on the ground, and now he's pressing on the ground. I'm going to walk right by him. Then I'm going to walk this way. Then I'm going to walk this way. I'm going to walk this way. I'm going to get dizzy if I keep doing that. How about I run by him real fast? Will he chase me?
Watch your heels, Clint. Watch your heels.
These are not special. These are tennis shoes, just New Balance running shoes. The snake is in no way wanting to deal with me. It wants to go anywhere except where I am. If I come up and poke it from behind, it might not like that too much, but it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of people around. Where can I hide? Right now, the snake is using its heat-sensing pits, its tongue, and its vision all at the same time trying to figure out how it can get out of this mess. There are people everywhere. The last thing this animal wants to do is bite me. He does not want to put me in the hospital. I have had them come right towards me. I'll see if he'll do it. But he won't bite me. I won't let him get in strike distance. Y'all see what he did? I moved my leg. Why did he come towards me for a moment? He thought I had a place to hide. Not out of any kind of aggression. This is an animal that's not going to attack you. Let me show you what we do. We normally have much larger tools. I'm using the small one for an example. If I had gone, oh, he's got the tool. No, that's good. I'll use this one. I would pick it up, carefully put it in the bucket, lift my tool away, then I'd come, oh, he's starting to come out. He's coming to get me. I think he wants my grandkids that aren't here yet. Put him back in the bucket carefully, always moving slow. Sometimes you can bump their head a little bit. I don't recommend hurting them at all. So how gentle I was with the snake. An animal that's being treated gently is going to act much more gently. He's still trying to come out. So I can put my top on him like this, go backwards first until I hear it click. There's the click. And then I go forward. Now I can take that snake to a nice place to be released, maybe to a laboratory to use its venom. It's that simple. And it's not theatrics. I mean, would that win any prizes on Animal Planet? I don't think so. That wasn't exciting, sorry. But that's reality. That is how you deal with a venomous snake. And you can use multiple tools. I hope I made that look easy. We still have a copperhead to go with over here. I am not going to take out the coral snake because I do not want to hurt them. They're very simple snakes. I can even tell you it's going to move a whole bunch. Again, when I come over to the snake, I put my hand away and I close it. My hand is never to where the pits can pick up the temperature of my hand. Do I think that snake will bite me even if it does pick up my temperature? Absolutely not. It picked up my temperature at least 20 times going around it. So we're going to do the next snake. And these guys can be a little testy. We're going to see what it does though. The copperhead is responsible for biting the most people in the state of Texas. So again, little tiny hook. And a copperhead. What's that?
Why is it responsible for biting them?
I'm going to see if I can show you. I'm going to put it on the ground. Right now, it's like, who can I get? So watch this. I'm going to put the back, I'm going to touch it with the back of my hand. Back of the hook here. Oh, it didn't do it. There we go. Did you see how it quickly turned its head? You step on their back, it's musky. I can smell it from here. It will turn its head and bite you real quick. That's why they bite so many people. Yes? That's the one you want to be bit by. If you're going to get bit by a venomous snake, the babies have much less venom. This snake here is going to put you in the hospital for 3 days. A baby, you'll probably get out that night. Big difference. Probably won't even receive anti-venom with a baby. So that's just another big myth that they say with snakes. I've heard this one on Animal Planet, what you just said, many times. Totally untrue. If you're going to get bit by a snake, you want it to be a baby. I don't care which species it is. Less venom, smaller the snake. And the myth is they can't control their venom. They actually can't. But even if they could, it's nothing compared to a fourth of the venom of a large snake. Or this one here. See, that's my buddy. That's why I have him here. He's not going to let this snake get near my audience. So you actually can see this. I'm going to come up and see what it does. These are, this snake here is being a little bit, see where I go in front of it. What's it do? See, I'm staying out of the strike zone right here. I think he wants me. Y'all see that? He's coming after me. When he comes towards me, I can tell you it's to hide. It's not. He sees me as a treat. Well, I'm going to move on here. This snake here is the one more likely to bite you. If somebody here wanted me to free handle a snake, which I will never do, it's not something that should be done, it'd be the cottonmouth. I'd take my chances with it. Just because they're not the aggressive. They're way less likely to bite you. than all the other snakes. And cottonmouths are common. But now we're going to move on. Change my tools. I move things that can trip me out of the way. What kind of snake is in here? It is a diamondback. Very good. You can't always know it's a diamondback, but yeah, you can hear the noise. And I use a tool to lift it. This to lift that quick. That could have been my hand if I used my hand. These guys can strike over 100 miles an hour. They're not aggressive. They're high strung and they're scared. Very scared animals. So I'm going to show you how you would take this rattlesnake out of the container. I use 2 hooks because she's a pretty good sized snake. Why do I do that? I don't want to hurt her. I do look to see where her head is, and I try to grab it very, very gently, never trying to hurt her. She's fighting me already. That's not a promise. She is definitely fighting me. Not unusual with this species. She's flattening her body right now, as flat as she can make it. You know why she's doing that? She's trying to make herself look bigger. She knows I have the tools. Oh, I don't want to do that. There we go. Come on, sweetie. Come on. There's venom everywhere. These are all real life. Now watch her. She just saw you. Now notice I don't get as close, but what does she do in the second I walk by her? Does she come towards me? Did she use that 100-mile-an-hour strike at me? No, she did not. And she might strike at me, scare me off, but see how she's watching me? Right now, she's up against the bucket because she has some protection. But she is not going to, right now, she still knows where I am. She is not going to take her eyes off me because why? I just attacked her. I just accosted her. I'm the bad guy here. She is not. See that strike? 3/4 the length of her body. What distance am I keeping? I know the length of the snake. She's right at 4 foot 3 inches, and I am staying over 5 feet. She cannot strike that far, and I know that. But I'm not going to get any closer. I'm not going to do what I did with those 2 other pit vipers. Why? She's got the ability to strike. And Dr. Green's not here today. Not just good. But you can see this is their fang. That is a really good picture right there. That is beautiful. Can I take your photo, man? Okay. So we're going to see what we got. That really is a nice photo there. But she is, now see, right there, that is total defense. Yeah, I'm gonna move the bucket for you. That's a good identification shot because it shows the bands on the tail, the face, so you know it's not a Mojave, you know that it's a diamondback, and you can see it's a rattlesnake because there's a rattle. But this is what these snakes are. They're not wanting to hurt us. They're not going to ever attack us. Why do they bite us? We scare them to death. We are monsters. We are giants. This snake has bit joggers. Why would it bite a jogger? It's running at them. Boom, boom, boom. They feel those vibrations. They have the best hearing of almost any snake. They feel vibrations that you and I can only hear. They do not hear them with their outer ear, but their inner ear picks it up. Rattlesnakes have an unbelievable ability. Again, I will not get close to her, and it's not because she's a pet. I will tell you this, I've had her since 2002. She's my display snake. She's one that I've used with many of hundreds of people to learn how to identify, handle these snakes. This snake here is as wild today as she was the day I got her. She has not calmed down one bit. She gets food from me. She's been to the vet. He had to gas her and help her out with some. She has some impacted eggs. And this is a snake here that is just as dangerous as any snake in the wild. But you don't mess with it. Look at her flattening out that body as I get closer. Can you see that? She is showing me I am big, I am dangerous. Never play with these snakes. What I'm doing here, I've been doing for almost 50 years. Have a little bit of experience, and I hope I'm making it look easy, but it's not. I can hurt her with one wrong move, and I'm not about to hurt these animals. So you have to work with it. So when I put a rattlesnake in cage, just like the other one, I put the bucket close so you don't have to move the animal very much. There's times with rattlesnakes, they can be like under a fork. I will sometimes catch them loosely and pull them real gently, real gently. And they're less likely to strike, but it doesn't mean anything. This snake will strike until it calls her body nonetheless. It's okay. And whenever they start doing that, you just regroup. This is not something where you're trying to hurt the animal. Lift their body lightly. Try to get the tail in first if you can. She bit everything at least 2 or 3 times. Now, do I reach over there and put the lid on? No. She can strike up this high easily. No problem. 3/4 length of her body. I put this on. I don't even walk over to turn it. I try to turn it with ease if I can. Sometimes it gets messed up. And then I think this one's going to work. Go backwards. Fill the clip. Go forward. And you have a contained rattlesnake. Venom all over the place. And then you walk off with your snake and release it. How do I release these? Take the top off using the tool, and then I slowly push the bucket over and let the snake fall out on the ground. I don't take them out of it. That's still more stress. So it gives you an idea of how you must respect these animals, but they're in no way out to hurt you. Not even a little bit. These animals want to do one thing. They want to survive. They want to eat. They love to eat rodents. Doesn't matter if they have ticks or diseases or if they have any kind of, let's say, parasite, or maybe the animal even has rabies. Like I said earlier, this rattlesnake eats it. So what? Doesn't hurt the rattlesnake, and I'll transfer the rabies. Do I have any questions? Wow, I'm that good? Oh.
Actually, you mentioned the 3 that you wrote that you left the coral snake out. Is that only a lizard, or what is it?
Coral snakes are snake eaters and skink eaters, small lizards, but they'll even eat venomous snakes. They've been spotted eating copperheads, rattlesnakes. Don't know that I've ever seen one eat a cottonmouth, but the cottonmouth would eat the coral snake. They're just voracious snake eaters, the cottonmouth is. But they eat rodents, in other words. Any other questions? Yes?
Have you ever caught anything non-native?
Oh, non-native? Venomous or non-venomous? Both, yes and yes. I've caught Burmese pythons, boa constrictors, a lot of California king snakes, a couple corn snakes, none of them indigenous, all somebody's pet that escaped or was released, and then one green mamba. And that's back when I started my business, and that was in, where was that? Oh, that was far south over there in Santa Fe, Texas. And that was amazing. The guy caught it, but he didn't know what it was. He's pretty good with snakes. And I go out there, and I'm thinking it's a racer from his description or coach whip. I lift up the bucket, I put it back down. Okay, hold on, I got to go get my. I need some tongs and gloves. This wasn't what I was prepared for. But that's the only venomous one, and it turned out it was his next door neighbors. We gave it back to him. His next door neighbor had venomous snakes, and one of them was missing this mamba. So yeah, it's amazing. Any other questions? If you want to learn how to get snakes to come to your house, go to my table. I'll tell you some neat tricks that are fun, make it really educational for the kids, and how to even lift the board to see if they're under there safely, how you really do it without putting your fingers in danger. So always remember, you can find snakes. My information's over there. If you have a snake in your yard, I have 2 guys in this room that will go rescue them in a heartbeat for me. I'll call Ori or I'll call Randall, and they will come and rescue the snake if I'm not available or somebody else is not. We know enough people. There's enough people around the state to get the snake. does not need to be. So tell your friends this. I'm pretty well assuming everybody in this room likes snakes. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, so I appreciate you sitting here and listening to me because everything you already know.